Hello guys, so this week's video is going to be a follow-up video to a previous video that I did on my channel, which is about reacting to my old digital art. Now this time it is the DeviantArt edition because it's my DeviantArt anniversary. August 24th, 2017 actually marks 7 years of being on DeviantArt. And DeviantArt, if you don't know, is actually where I started on the internet. It was my very first social media outside of the regular Facebook, Twitter and all that lot. So the fact that this is still a thing, and just to prove to you that I've been on this site for 7 years, oh my god. One word describes this entire DeviantArt account between the years of 2011 and 2013. I don't usually swear on this channel, but this is literally the only word that describes this. Shitpost. This whole DeviantArt is a complete shitpost. So I haven't actually updated my DeviantArt in a very long time. That is because I've been busy with university, college and all that, and you can really tell that I haven't actually updated it a lot since 2015 probably. I really need to update it, but for now this is kind of like a time capsule until I update it, which is amazing. So first things first, let's actually start with the first picture in my gallery. It's this one, Storm MIDI Mountaintop. I just didn't have any grammar back then. You can actually scroll through all of the pieces of artwork in this gallery and you can see my atrocious spelling, my atrocious grammar, and everything that's evolved over time. I've had this account since I was 13 years old. This is gonna make me cringe beyond belief. What is this? The dude's head looks like a goat. The only good thing I like about this drawing is the wings. The wings aren't too bad, but everything else is a train wreck. Wow. Comment down below if you think I should redraw this and actually colour it. So just to give you a little bit of context about the noses, this is something I mentioned in the previous reacting to old artwork video. I used to be in the whole fandom of Alvin and the Chipmunks and I used to create my own OCs around it and it developed from there. We all start off in those cringy fandoms, don't act like you don't. Of course, the very first art software that I used was Paint, and I used Paint to trace over all of my traditional sketches and painstakingly with a mouse, look at the majesticness that is this work on Paint. Oh my lord. This is supposed to be me, by the way. First of all, I'm not that thin. My hair curls exactly the same way, but I do really like the shading style. This is actually a shading style that I could do nowadays and still be proud of. This is pretty cool, actually. There is promise in this. There is quite a lot of promise in it, even though it's still really terrible. In this gallery, you can just see the amount of stuff that was like little pieces of paper that were ripped up. These were pieces of paper that I'd stuffed into my school planner to take with me so I could draw on the go. And I would draw constantly and all the time. There were times when you could not see the carpet because the amount of printer paper that was on the floor. I do, however, start to see promise in my pencil colouring work. This was the very first drawing I used in a video. So this is from October 17th, 2010. I still would have been 13 years old. I will say this, there are a lot more skilled artists that are younger, so if you're 13 and your artwork is better than this, you're already 10 times better than me at this age. Trust me, there are a lot less young, good artists on the platform at the time, so the fact that the amount of younger artists has ballooned because of artist YouTubers and also just social medias dedicated to artwork in general. That is amazing, and you can see the growth of the artist community just in these past 7 years. You can actually tell that I had no idea how to edit my pictures, how to make them look decent. The fact that I could not delete those edges around the outside of the paper, I am cringing. I am internally dying. Oh, here we get on to the GIMP phase. Here is when I start using a program known as GIMP. It's kind of like an in-between of Paint and Photoshop, if you don't know what it is. Now, some artists, they still use GIMP. I think Drawing with Waffles still actually uses GIMP, and it's a free software. So surely it's not that bad, but I was terrible at digital art at the time, still kind of am in some respects. So there was this brush that I used to use constantly, and I couldn't stop using it. It was one of those brushes that I had to use in pretty much every piece. You can see it just now. It's in 2 of the pieces staring me right in the face. The title of this piece is Bethany, Anything for You. Bethany is actually a character still alive and kicking today. So she is about as old as my DeviantArt itself. This is what her old design used to look like, for anybody curious. It is overly bad with saturated colours. The tips and tricks that I had for digital art and stuff in the previous few videos actually ring true with me. They do. The oversaturated colours, the overuse of that brush, that glow brush is the bane of my existence. So back then, I actually used to do a lot of requests. You can actually see 2 of them on the screen. How these people thought that this drawing was good at the time, I have no idea. Oh goody! The DA Muro! Yay! Around the time that DA Muro actually released, I actually thought that this was amazing. They were supporting artists, but because I had no idea how to use a drawing tablet, look at all this crap. Why? Why did I think it was a good idea to use it without a tablet? I'll never know. This is awful. This is terrible. I'll run out of words by the end of this. I just know this. Oh look, it's that brush again. Yay. There's another one from DA Muro. Great. This is just great. I think this was the last picture on Microsoft Paint that I ever did. So I'm actually happy that it turned out pretty well. Look at that line work. Isn't it great? Isn't it peachy? Here is where I actually started to get better with GIMP. I actually started experimenting more with some of the features, and look at all of this. Look at the oversaturation of colours. The amount of playing with gradients and patterns was insane. I can just see that brush again. I still like this one though. This is actually pretty decent. The only thing is, I had no idea how to shade or anything, so I just added a bunch of white or a bunch of black in places where shadows and highlights were supposed to be, and used the blender brush to blend it out. It looks terrible. Yes, Bethany actually used to have a boyfriend. His name was Wolf, because back then, when we were 13, Wolf was an edgy name. There is that glow brush again. Great. Me as a chippette. Okay, younger Zoe, just because you changed the colour of your beloved brush does not make it an excuse to use it. Stop it. Oh, look at these faces. Why? That face of that baby. Who hurt you? Why? That is literally the only question throughout this entire video. Why is these things a thing? Just, oh my god. However though, some of my pencil crayon work I do like. If only I had the character drawing skills at the time to actually match up to that pencil crayon work that I was doing. I didn't. I really didn't have that. And this is the phase where I started to write my name with a Y. It explains this whole video, to be honest. Why? It's a joke in itself. This DeviantArt gallery is a pit. A pit of shame. Oh, here is where I started doing referencing. Because referencing, at the time, a lot of people had the mindset that it was cheating to use references to do drawings. A lot of people were under that mindset because everything was pretty much brand new at the time. It was very questionable how things would go on. So this is a drawing that I've been asked to redraw a couple of times on my channel, and I think this would actually be a decent one to redraw. Younger Zoe, I really hate the fact that you used the gradients and the preset patterns. Gal, did you dip your hair in radioactive custard? Because I think you did. Okay, here is where it starts to get a little better. And when I say a little better, I literally just mean this one. I think the character is definitely there. The only thing is, we are suffering from something stated in the last video, big head syndrome. This is a pure example of just pre-made patterns. Look how cringy it is. It's terrible. There's no shading. There's no highlights. There's no nothing. I was about to say why, but this doesn't even deserve it. Oh, this one. I hate this picture so much. The reason why I hate it so much is because this was my desktop background on my high school's Macs. I hate this. But the weird part is, I changed it to this. Surely I could have changed it to something else. No, I forgot how to do that after I changed it to this. I was fudged for my whole high school experience. Okay, these are cute. These are pretty cute, actually. I'm gonna write down what lessons I did draw these in, also the date, and what period of the day it was. And we've only reached the 17th of January 2011. There's a lot more to this gallery. I'm scrolling up so you can see that my artwork does get better. It also gets worse, and then it gets better, and then it gets worse again. There are pictures of me in this DeviantArt account. Why? No! Zoe, you could have deleted it in the 7 years you had it. Why didn't you? Oh my god. Look at the Photoshop skill. Look at it. It's brilliant, isn't it? This was my first time using Photoshop. There's nothing really much more to be said about this. This actually just speaks for itself and how terrible I was. I thought I was so cool. Look at me. Fetus Zoe is thinking herself to be amazing. Oh no. I just found one of my first few pieces I did on Paint-Tool-Sai in 2011. Oh no. Also, why did my sister trust me in drawing her OCs? Because this female OC, this is my sister's OC. It's not mine. I butchered my sister's character. Oh, not more Paint-Tool-Sai work. I can't take any more of this. Lovely. I had no idea how to work any of the layers in Paint-Tool-Sai or anything. This has got to be 2011. February 15th, 2011. I feel like this video needs to be in more than one part because there's just so much cringe. There is enough for an entire series of cringe. How would you like that? You can comment down below if you want that. If you want me to cringe any more about that. So I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm going to react to a couple more pieces of artwork in this video, then call the video done. But if you want a part 2 to this video, make sure you comment down below, because these are incredibly fun to make and it could be really interesting to see how my style developed, because I'm scrolling up through my gallery and not down through my gallery. Zoe, why did you put watermarks on your artwork? This is not good enough for a watermark. That is an amazing flying dog that they've got there, isn't it? I like how the title is Walking Cookie. Surely the title should be Flying Cookie, because no dog would do that. Look at those legs. No dog's legs would ever do that. And apparently her eye goes up into her forehead. And I think let's end on this one, because this one was actually stolen before. I know, this awful piece of artwork was stolen before. It was stolen for like 10 minutes and that was it, but still, this was stolen. Why? Why would someone steal this? Why would somebody want to? It's so bad. It's awful. The line work is really getting to me right now, because that is not smooth line work at all. Apparently, cheekbones are out here. I don't understand that person's mindset to steal this so terrible drawing when the rest of my work was not much better, but it was still at least a little bit better than this. So that is the end of the video. You can like this video if you enjoyed it, and if you want a part 2, comment down below saying that you do. So I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!